Hello and welcome to Encrypted Inc. I'm your host Dan, Encrypted, decrypting ASICs and crypto for you. If you like the content within my videos, please like, subscribe, share with your friends and family, and turn on notifications if you want to be, updated straight away with my content that I share with you. Shout outs to Perth Crypto Group, Kevin, the creator of that group. And also to the Perth crypto crew, James Picton. Been in contact with James, and I'll be meeting up with James probably next week. Next week sometime, as I have my kids this weekend. Look forward to meeting you, James, and thank you to both of those groups for your support. So thank you. So if you want to know more about crypto, join both of those groups, and also ask a member within the Perth Crypto crew to get access to the Discord there with lots of information and just great people. So get on board to that. Thank you also to all the support for my channel. Wow, since my last video, I've had 20 plus Facebook friend requests. I have had an increase in my subscriptions by about 4. And that's also due to the giveaway that I'm doing, which is when I reach 50 subscribers, I'll be giving away one of these Encrypted Ink t-shirts. As you can see here, this is the Encrypted Ink t-shirt. So if you want to be in with a chance to win a free t-shirt, subscribe to my channel, and once I've hit 50 subscribers, I'll do a random generated Excel spreadsheet with all my subscribers on there, and you will be in a chance to win. Also, just on YouTube, if you have a setting which doesn't allow me to find out who's subscribed to my channel, I can't give you the chance to win the shirt. So check your settings on that and be in a chance to win a free t-shirt. All right, let's get into it. So we're going to do a crypto and ASX market update. I'm also going to go through some big news that just happened, and this is why I'm up at 5:47. It was actually up at 3 this morning. It's 5:47 a.m. Western Standard Time in Perth. The reason why I wanted to get up so early is because it is the conclusion of the Federal Reserve meeting that's just taken place in the States. And why is that important? Because A, it has effects on markets. B, it also has an effect on interest rates potentially, and just the general outlook of the US economy and even world economies. So that's why that is important. So let's get into the market update first. So over last night here in Perth and also into early this morning, you can see S&P 500 index is up 0.95%, and I believe it's closed now. So, yep. And the NASDAQ is up 0.99%. Dow Jones up 1%. China as well. Let's look at a Chinese index as well. Why not? Considering we've had the Evergrande, I believe is how you say it, news that's come out. Watch a previous video regarding that. So the SSE composite is 0.4% up in the positive. Even Hong Kong's Hang Seng index 0.51 up. The ASX hasn't opened yet. It's 548. My prediction, ASX is going to be on the positive today. If all those other markets, and this is just some tips as well, if the US and Chinese markets open in the positive and significantly in the positive, you can most likely say that the Australian market's going to do the same. So these indicators are actually, it's pre-market now, so it hasn't opened. But yeah, you will go and see. So these indicators here are not for today's opening, just to let you know. All right, so that's the ASX market update. Let's look at a crypto market. I've got some charts here for crypto, so we can see the Ethereum chart here, the Bitcoin chart here. They're in Australian dollars because I am Australian, but yes, you can convert this to US dollars. So we're currently seeing Bitcoin at 59,700 Australian dollars. We're seeing Ethereum at 4,187. Now, these are the fib levels and the channel that I've drawn in a long time ago. Interestingly enough, we had this massive dip here in Ethereum's price, similarly to the Bitcoin price. And since it's hit that lower fib level, it has basically just gone up ever since. Now, a lot of this downturn here people would argue that it has nothing to do with the Evergrande news that came out a few days ago and what happened in Chinese markets, or if it's a black swan event. Okay. I'm not going to say whether it has or hasn't had an effect on the crypto market, but look, the charts obviously show that since September, it has basically seen a downward trend, but we are bouncing from that. Even in the crypto market, I also believe that we're going to see quite a significant bounce, just as my opinion, in the ASX market. I think we're going to see a stabilization in the iron ore price, which will have a massive effect on the ASX. Why? Because, the biggest companies within the ASX are generally BHP, Fortescue Metals, Rio Tinto. I mean, these are the big players, and a lot of them are iron ore miners. So if you see a massive effect in iron ore prices and drops in iron ore mining stocks, you're most likely going to see an overall effect on the entire market. But that's not 100% true or definite, but it does have an effect. Right. So I guess if you wanted my opinion, is it a good time to get into the markets now? Potentially, yes. Why not? Investors have the saying, buy the dip. Well, we've seen the dip. We've seen a bit of market recovery, so yeah, could be a good time to get in. Not financial advice, because I can't provide financial advice, and that's why I say that. So that's the disclaimer, if anyone's wondering why I say that. All right, let's get into some news. So the big news, as I said, was the Federal Reserve meeting concluding at, I think it was 4:30 this morning. I'm not going to go into reading articles too much like I did last time, because I think that's quite boring. But look, I have had seen the press conference that Mr. Powell actually did after the meeting, and this is a news article about it. What's interesting in this, and I couldn't highlight this, so I'm just going to have to find it. US isn't falling behind on digital currency innovation, Powell says. This is just something interesting, and it's crypto related as well. Chair Powell said the Fed is working proactively, evaluating whether to issue a central bank digital currency. We haven't made a decision about this CBDC, but we are issuing a discussion paper on it soon in order to form the basis of public engagement on the issue. The ultimate test will apply when assessing the central bank digital currency and other digital innovations is where there is clear tangible benefit outweighs the costs and risks, he continued. He also said he doesn't think the US is behind in the global race to issue a central bank digital currency. So anyone that's maybe more ASX or, conventional market focused that may think that crypto is, it's just a fad, it's something that's going to go away. It's not, okay? I am a true believer that crypto is here to stay. And if they're talking about it in, the Federal Reserve itself, that just proves that, crypto is here to stay. And my belief was when we had the last correction, and I believe a lot of institutions and hedge funds were getting into crypto. So look, there's a lot of money in crypto. There's so much, it's almost too big to fail. But in saying that, it possibly can fail if, things go really, really, really bad with crypto itself. But in my view, I don't think that is really going to happen. Right. So I'm, again, not going to bore you with too much on that, but look, I did watch the video about Mr. Powell's press conference. So I just want to give you some important aspects regarding that. So I believe the inflation rate in the States is 4.2%, and they want to bring it down to around 2%, so 2.2% to 2.2%. So their long-term goal is 2%. Now, Their target for that is 2024. Okay, so where are we at the moment, or where they're at, I should say, is they're trying to basically at the moment do a tapering. And what are they tapering? They're tapering on their asset purchases. Now, what are the assets that they're purchasing? This is bond buying. So they're government bonds exactly, and in tapering, they've announced they're beginning their tapering. So from his press release video, he basically said that they're trying now to get to a max employment rate. Now, why is that? Because of Corona and what has happened with Corona, unfortunately, a lot of people have been unemployed. So the government has had to basically help the people that are unemployed at the time. What industries have been affected the most? Well, let's look at the tourism industry, restaurants, bars, etc. We haven't seen that too much here in Perth, but in other places in the world it's been quite bad. This is starting to change. How is this changing? Well, the vaccination rollout, and hopefully people who do get, and I'm not a pro or against vax person, but I have been vaccinated, and the reason why I did it is because I think this is just going to move the economy in the right direction by getting vaccinated, and there's nothing really to lose. I didn't have any side effects from having the Pfizer jab, and I feel fine. Other people have other views on that, and that's perfectly fine. And we've already seen what's happening in Melbourne there, but I think there's another issue more tied to that regarding vaccination. I'm not a big believer in forced vaccination, like trying to just force people to get it. I think everyone should have a choice, and that's my belief. But yeah, as you can see, Melbourne has turned very interesting regarding that. I believe they're trying to implement, that you have to, and this is happening in America, that you have to get vaccinated or you will no longer be employed. And the effect that has on people is astronomical. I mean, if they say, "Oh, we can't, let you work today because you haven't had your vaccination," that has had effect. And even I've heard of a suicide in Melbourne based on that. So, yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. So, what's the tapering? Well, they're looking to reduce, like I mentioned before, inflation to around 2%. Now, the forecast basically for tapering is going to be probably they want to start the tapering now and continue it to mid to probably, I would say, the end of next year, 2022. So, what they're basically trying to do is, with more people going, they want to encourage more people to go back to work. And in doing so, the funny thing is that that's going to cause more inflationary pressure probably on the economy, right? So their long-term strategy is to basically do this tapering, but in saying that, they're going to have to do something with interest rates, and that is key here. So what do I believe is going to happen with interest rates? There's a lot of talk about it, and this could change over time depending on what happens with COVID and just in the world generally. But what I believe is we are going to see some sort of interest rate increase, I believe, probably mid next year to the end of next year is my opinion on that. Some people believe it will be actually at the start of 2023, which was originally, I guess, what was talked about. I believe this may happen earlier, but it's all COVID dependent. I just see there's maybe a correlation, and even though he did say there wasn't, that there is a correlation between the tapering and reducing of the spending on asset purchases regarding bonds, and I think there's going to be, when they do that over the time, I think they're going to see a gradual increase in interest rates. So just watch that space. I could be wrong, but hey, look, I'm going to even make predictions now. I'm not really one to make predictions. I'm going to also keep my channel very real as well. I've seen a lot of YouTubers out there that are actually, when they heard about the Evergrande, situation there, that they go, "Oh, this is going to be the next global financial crisis." Look, I am not here to raise panic with people, okay? I'm going to give my opinion on things, and I'm not going to give out massively negative articles that basically incites fear to the people that are viewing my show. That if you want that, go find another YouTube channel, because I'm not going to do it and I'm not interested, okay? But to all those YouTubers that do that, that's fine. If that's what they want to do, and that's their opinion, I mean, I respect it, but you're not going to see that here. I'm going to keep it as real as possible, okay? Right, so that's that. What have we got next? So this is more about Evergrande. I'm not going to talk about it too much. There was a deal struck, basically. What the deal pretty much is that, you know, they're not going to default on immediately default on its debt. Its debt deal is not. The debt deal does not address the structural issues plaguing the indebted developer. So what are you going to see here? Well, you're going to be seeing a massive restructure of this company. In other words, CEOs and, you know, people in high-end positions within this company possibly will lose their jobs. Yeah, that's probably what's going. It's going to be a massive restructure of this company. It's like I said before, this is not a bank collapsing. This is why I didn't want to incite fear and just say things that I think are just unreasonable, because it isn't a bank. It is a developer in China. It's a development company. They build apartments. Yes, this could have a flow-on effect if they default, but it is not an entire bank. So therefore, its effect is not going to be as grand as what you saw in the global financial crisis. I could see this, and I believe that we're going to get through this. So that's my news to everyone out there. If you think, oh, this is, you know, really bad, I believe it's not that bad, as in global financial crisis bad. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion, and I'm not here to incite fear. All right. That's that. Okay, let's go on to something interesting in the crypto space. Just an article I read which I thought was interesting. Cointelegraph, NFTs could mark a resurgence in art galleries. What is an NFT? It is, in my opinion, a store of value in a digital space, which is different to a currency or a crypto or backing a smart chain, smart contracts platform, etc., and other things. So, I mean, look, this is basically interesting. So, however, since the turn of the century, grossly impacted by systemic system digital behaviors, economic uncertainties, and enduring complaints of exclusivity, art galleries have seemingly depreciated in I don't even know that word. I'm not going to say it. Appeal. So this is the thing. This is the interesting part about digital art. And digital art simply can be replicated. But, I mean, any art can be replicated. If you get someone good enough at art, you could replicate some type of exclusive art. We see it even in, like, handbags. I don't know if you've been to Thailand. You can get a Gucci handbag that looks pretty close to what an actual real Gucci handbag is for, like, half the price or even less. So let's go down here. In spite of nascent art form emerging rapidly into the mainstream, could hold promise for a resurgence through the sector, and the art form is, of course, non-fungible tokens. Now, that's just a replication of some that's digital art. So CryptoPunks is a pioneer in NFT culture. There are hundreds out there. You can find them if you want to find them. There's another one, Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I've seen some of the art. That's actually pretty cool. I like the Bored Ape Yacht Club. I also do like Cool Cats. I probably like Bored Ape Yacht Club more. I may even purchase some NFTs from Bored Ape Yacht Club. I like what they do. So if you want to find out more, go into CoinGecko, go to NFTs, click on the NFTs tab. You will see a list of NFT tokens that are available, and you'll get guided even to their websites. You can even see some of the art that they have, and then you can purchase the NFT. Now, this is an interesting space, and I've talked to this about even my brother, who is into, he works for IBM, and he's a programmer. He's also a enterprise architect, and he finds it interesting to say, well, you can easily replicate digital artwork. I mean, why not, right? I mean, you could literally just get a copy of this right here, crop it, and then you've got it. Right, so this is just my thoughts on exclusivity on digital art. And I believe this is maybe already happening. But if you have a trusted entity that will hold the digital art for you, as in the actual digital file of that digital art, and basically give you access to it, and you have some sort of screen in your house that gives only you the access to that digital art, which you paid for, and that art is displayed in your home digitally, then that's exclusive, as long as you trust the holder and creator of that digital art and that they do not replicate it and send it out to other people. Now, what's interesting about this is that even though, yes, someone could recreate that digitally as well if they saw it in your house, but you'd think, oh, why not take a photo of it, and replicate it? If you've taken a photo of something on a screen, obviously it doesn't show very well, so it's actually quite hard to replicate. And I think that's an interesting space, and I believe that that's probably what's going to happen in the NFT space, is that you may not hold the file, or you will exclusively only have access to that file. It may be encrypted somehow in a way that only you can access it, or you can't share it, or or something like that, that it could be tailored to maybe even your IP address potentially. So, only someone with your IP address, which is your native address. But then again, there's, other ways around that, and, who knows? But I mean, that's just my thoughts on digital art and maybe where that's going, and, maybe making it exclusive. But some of the NFT prices out there are just astronomical. It's amazing. I think I'm going to get my daughter into digital art personally. I think I'm going to get her to just, scribble anything down in Paint, and then, make some digital art for her, because I think, that'll be good for her in the future, and for her to have, as in monetarily, if people like that particular piece of art that my daughter makes. So the fact that artists are working with digital mediums to create visuals, renderings, and computer graphic generated art really opens a whole new layer to how we perceive art in this world. So, I mean, there it is there. That looks, to me, not digital. This could be Photoshop. I don't even know. Oh, looks real. It's a photo. They take historical creation of unique pieces that will be talked about for years to come, having one of the first ever. Now, this is why the prices of NFTs are so expensive right now, and even people might think, oh, why would you pay that for even that? Is because having one of the first ever collectibles in this new NFT world is rare, and part of the reason why people are so keen to collect them. So that's basically why they are so pricey at the moment, is because this is a breakthrough. Digital art and NFTs are new, and if you have one of the first pieces of this art, it's going to have probably some significant value in the future, because, you can say, oh, I had one of the first ever NFTs ever made. It's like the very first painting, I don't know, the Sistine Chapel in, I think that's Rome. I mean, that was ancient art, and it's the value of that. I mean, you couldn't even put a price tag on it. But I mean, that's again different, but this is just some sort of comparing of what NFTs are to maybe what the art world was like centuries ago. All right, I'm not going to dwell too much on that. This is just more about art. This is interesting. I mentioned in my previous video about the Cardano Summit here in Perth. Unsigned Algorithms, I believe the founder of Unsigned Algorithms is going to attend that Cardano Summit. I would love to go. Unfortunately, I have my kids that day. But look, this is, again, more digital art. This is interesting, though, and I like it, because the first algorithmically generated art living on Cardano, mathematically derived and designed, generating using computers and advanced algorithms. So now we don't even have to do the art. We can get a computer to do the art for us. That's incredible and very unique. I like it. I mean, some people might not like this sort of thing. It's very abstract, I know, but I particularly like it. Yeah, it's just something different, and I like it. So that wraps up my show today. Thanks for tuning in, guys. As I said before, like, subscribe, share with your friends. The shirt giveaway will be happening when I reach 50 subscribers. Thanks for tuning in. You can find me on Facebook at Dan Encrypted. You can find me on Instagram at Dan Encrypted. You can find me on Twitter at Dan the Encrypted Man. This is my YouTube channel, Encrypted Inc. Thank you for tuning in. God bless, and I'll see you all shortly.